Hi, my name is Joel, and today we learn about the concept of a fork. What's a fork? Fork is when two pieces are tacked at the same time, and you lose material in that case. Uh, the first thing we notice here is we are currently down material. We are white, by the way. We are currently down material. Two, I see the king, and I see the rook, and I see a pawn. What if I take the knight and I push my pawn ahead? That's a fork between the king and the rook. And the king cannot take my pawn because it's defended by the rook. And that way I'll be winning material and equalizing to a certain extent from an unequal and losing position. Let's just take a look at it. If I were to take this, obviously the pawn is going to capture my rook. And what if I drive my pawn ahead? It's attacking this, and it will then be attacking the rook as well. The king cannot capture my pawn because it's currently protected by my rook. Let's just see it play in action, right? I take this, the rook the pawn captures my rook, and I drive ahead my pawn. So you can see it's a check, which means the king has to go behind, right? Any one of these squares, it does not matter. Any one of these squares, it cannot capture this because it's currently defended, right? And then after the king moves behind any of the squares, it does not matter, right? I would capture the rook, and we would simply be equalized in terms of material. Although white is slightly bad positionally because of because of the pawn structure. Black is equally bad because of the pawns; they are pretty separated. One of the few things I would like to mention is that if you're losing material, try to take material from the opponent as well, right? So if you'll see, we move the king here, right? Uh, right. So for example, right here, what we do is we don't exactly move behind, right? We yeah. So we should ideally move it to a square such that the rook would attack this pawn, right? Because it's so close to promotion. So let's see it play out in action. Say I were to move behind, right? Obviously, I'm going to take the piece, but I can also attack this with the rook, right? And then we can see that the king and the rook are on the same diagonal, and that's extremely dangerous for white. Yeah, so that was one of the few concepts I wanted to cover. Hope you guys understood the concept of a fork. Thank you.